Cool, so this is van update 21. I'm gonna go with 21. And I'm getting close, I think. Obviously lockdown number 3 means that I don't have any time to go anywhere, so I can spend time doing this. So since the last one, it's been quite a while to be fair since I did a video, but I've been like beavering away doing little tiny bits that are taking a lot of time, but I am finally getting somewhere, I think. So what I've done is after sorting out the camera is all the water's now in, so all the pipes for all the water stuff's now in. The last video I had the Trima boiler in and the heating and everything like that was all done, so you know the water coming off that is fairly easy to plumb in. I've made a start on the garage bit at the back. It's minging outside, so I'm not even going to bother showing that. But when it's decent weather, when it's getting to start to be decent weather, I can start carrying on with that. But I've got the fill point for the tank in the garage, because I didn't really think about it, to be fair, filling up the tank until quite late on. So probably like, I don't know, maybe about 6 months ago I started to think about where I was going to put that, and then realised that where I'd put the height of the bed and where the fill point in the tank was almost the same level. So it could only, and the bed thickness is probably like this thick, so it could only be below, if I was going to put the fill point on the outside of the van like most people do, it would only be below, it would have to be below the fill point level. So that doesn't really work very well. Obviously the point of it is you're supposed to have your fill point from the outside higher, and then it goes downwards gravity into the fill point into the tank. So as I couldn't do that, the fill point is now at the back of the van, because it means that I can have the hose from the tank to the actual fill point like slightly like going downwards towards the tank. So that's where that is. So today I've made a start on that. All the water tanks are now in, as I said, all the pipe work's now in. The shower room is almost done. The kitchen's almost done. As I said in the last video, I not massively keen on the drawers, so there might be a point where I redo them essentially to make them look nicer, because they look pretty shit. But it's functional, as I said in the last one, so if I can get it all done, then I can come back to it when I've got a bit more psych, because I think that's the main thing at the moment. Although we can't go anywhere, things are getting slightly better, so I'm hoping that we can get away soon. Well, I wouldn't really want to go away just yet anyway. Don't think anything's going to be open, but 2 months time or something like that, 3 months time, which for me only doing bits on the weekends doesn't really give me that much time to get to a point where it's almost done. So let's take a tour. So in here not much has changed realistically, apart from the pipe work's now all properly in. So drinking water and blue tank, Fiamma 70 litre tank, into a pump which you can't see. It's a whale pump. That splits off. One goes into the Trima Combi 2E, and then the other for the cold water supply. So obviously now I've boarded that off, and that's basically the only thing that's changed at the back there. Boarding it off so I can have all of my sort of garage space for all of my climbing bits and sup boards and all that jazz that I now need to make sure fit in that space. Yeah, so that's done. Obviously, as I said, all the water being done means that the sink's now properly sorted. Let me just put these keys away. So I've had this drinking water tap for some time. that's now properly in and secure. Similarly, I've got a cold hot water mixer tap, which swivels so that obviously I can get to the into the actual sink when I want to. So that's all done, all sealed. The only thing I've still got to do is put some tiles along the back, which I have in this cupboard. I need to get a tile cutter or something, so they'll be on the back there. And then after that's done, is the kitchen area done, essentially, after I've done this drawer. Well, the drawer's there, to be fair. I've got to do the surround for it. I've been continuing with Megan's decoupage, so this one's almost done. I've got to do the roof. That one's almost done, and yeah, so that's coming there. I finished off all of the backs of all of the, so that's all now carpeted down there to sort of hide all the shitty bits of cables and all the painting and everything. So that's all now like fully white and got some random plastic thing in there. So that's going to be our food storage essentially, along with some other places. And obviously the whopping great big fridge that we have. The blind, I fitted the blind. That was a bit of a pain in the ass. I've had the top one fitted for some time, because when we started going away in the summer last year, it was good to be able to like make it, you know, private in here. So fitted the window on the outside. Basically, that was the first thing I did in the van when I first brought it. And I've not come across any actual. So you can buy the windows on the outside of the van. There's kits for sprinters, crafters, you know, Renaults, all sorts of things. Well, I've never come across a kit or an easy thing that allows you to be able to mount on the inside. And it's been made slightly harder by the fact of how I built stuff. So these obviously screw into something. So all the way along the outside of a sprinter, there's this the rib for the door lining. So you could maybe get away with like screwing between here and having it higher up, but because obviously I'd built the kitchen so close to the door, I couldn't get away with doing that. But even if there was a kit available, you'd still have this weird gap down the side. So whatever, I can't find anything, so what I have to do is buy a normal caravan window and then make this sort of frame to block out the light, and it all secures onto that. And it's pretty close, as you can see. There is some gap, but that's all done now. Got a what do you call it, like a mosquito net fly screen in it, and yeah, blackout curtains. So that's all done. I'm happy with that. It works. The other thing is this curtain. So similarly, thinking about blacking everything out and making it private, I've got like a makeshift curtain pole and a curtain. So now the really good thing is I tested it the last couple of nights. When this curtain is properly closed, I need to work out a way of how I'm going to finish sort of this bit, and then maybe some clips. But when that's properly closed and in there, and I turn all the lights on and it's pitch black outside, you wouldn't know there's anyone in here. The lights don't illuminate the outside anyway, they don't come through any of the curtains, which is good. It's basically what I wanted. Although this isn't a stealth van, it's still nice to be able to have that option, and also not have people looking in, essentially. Nothing's changed in the front. However, what has changed is the shower room. So the last time this was probably shown was probably when everything was green. It's basically done, if I'm honest. I can do this as well. So what's happened is obviously the shower's in, so that was a bit of a awkward to do, if I'm honest. But essentially what it is, and I filmed it whilst I was doing it because I knew it was going to be a bit awkward to explain. So obviously there's the mixer in now. I've started doing all my cladding. But what I've had to do is, obviously all of these are meant to be for British standard plumbing fittings. It's a bit awkward one-handed. So the kit that you buy obviously comes with all the stuff that you need. Sorry, a bit faffy to do it one-handed. So the kit that you buy comes with all the stuff that you need to fit it into a house. So obviously you have your copper tubing and you have like your olive bits and all sorts of jazz. But what I've had to do is, let's take this off as well. Again, awkward one-handed. What I've had to do is, obviously I've got my hot and cold feed coming through. Then you have this sort of, I don't know what it is, connector piece, which would usually connect onto a copper sort of faceplate. Looks very similar to this, but obviously this end bit is copper, and then that fits flush into your wall. You bring your copper pipe through, and then you put your olive on, you connect that onto this bit of copper, and then connect the faceplate. But because obviously this is Campervan and I haven't got copper pipes and I've got like 12mm semi-rigid piping, I've got my John Guest 12mm fitting here, and what I've had to do is cut away the thread on the actual piece, and then just make it slightly bigger so I can shove this one through it. And this is a 1/2 inch male to 12mm John Guest fitting, and that's essentially emulating exactly what was there before, but it's just a bit faff. But other than that, obviously these just fit on, and then it means that you can just buy a standard shower. So that's all in. Obviously I've put my cladding on, it's all sealed. I think it looks alright. I'm not like mega pleased, but as I said in the last video, like I don't think we're going to be using it that much. But so the floor's now in. Still got to do a little bit around like this bit and the corner to neaten it up, but I've got a cupboard on the catches. That's my old bathroom cupboard. We just put a new one in the house, so essentially I just cut 1/3 of it off and stuck it in here. Still need to obviously have a shower rail of some sort up, and still need to figure out what I'm doing with a door. I might end up just doing another shower curtain rather than have a proper door, but I haven't quite worked it out yet. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Obviously we're getting close. I've got the loo, the toilet we're putting in, and that's on a swivel base. So my plan was to be able to put it in, and then you can swivel the toilet so it can be facing that way, facing this way, or obviously if you ever need to empty it and you want to take it out, if we're not using the shower that often, you can just take it out and put it in the shower. But I'm not sure whether or not I like that idea, so I might hold fire on doing that. But that's basically it. That's the van update 21. Hopefully I'll be going away in it.